proxy servers and how they're implemented. Proxy servers can be used to filter web requests. This can be extremely useful for organizations that need to protect or sanitize the types of information that is available on the network. For instance, proxy servers are used heavily in secondary schools where inappropriate content needs to be filtered. One way to implement a proxy server is to have the proxy server offline as opposed to inline and controlled through the web browser or a browser-based proxy server. In this scenario, the PC's web browser needs to be configured to talk to the proxy server instead of talking directly to the router and then to remote web servers online. In this scenario, the PC makes its request directly to the proxy server. The proxy server then forwards the request to the web server on the internet. When the information comes back, it comes back through the proxy server and then back to the PC. This form of proxy is easily bypassed by simply going into the settings of your web browser and changing the settings to not use the proxy server. If that's done, then the PC can make its requests directly through the router to the internet to receive content that an organization might otherwise deem inappropriate. Another way to use a proxy server is to have the proxy server as a transparent proxy inline. You can see in the diagram here that the proxy server is between the router and the switch. So any requests from the PCs to the internet will have to go through the proxy server. In this way, there's no avoiding the proxy. This is a transparent proxy that is inline. We can see that the PC makes a web request, it hits the proxy server, goes to the internet, returns through the proxy server and back to the PC. This type of proxy is not controlled by the web browser. Another type of transparent proxy is a routed transparent proxy. In this scenario, the router is configured to send all traffic to the proxy server. The proxy server in this scenario does not have to necessarily be in line because the router is configured to forward all web requests to the proxy. So the request is forwarded to the proxy by the router, and then the proxy server makes the request to the internet. Another form of proxy is the reverse proxy. This is not used to filter web traffic, but to cache frequently requested web pages to offload the demand off of a web server. So in this scenario, you can see that the web server is online and the proxy servers are in front of the web server. In this scenario, when a PC makes a request to a web server, instead of going to the web server, the proxy servers intercept the web request and can reply for the web server. This allows faster content loading and is a distributed form of caching web pages and offloading the demand to the web server.